You ever watch someone pivot so fast you wonder if they really believe what they say or just chasing the next headline or the next dollar? Because, man, I've been watching Bill Gates for a very long time now, and he's been the climate crusader, clean energy investor, global savior type. But lately, it's like the script has flipped. He's now moving from save the planet to let AI run the planet. I mean, climate change used to be this big narrative, right? And he built a brand on it with clean energy, zero emissions, breakthrough energy, nuclear dreams. You know the drill. Then suddenly it's AI will solve everything jobs, doctors, schools, even climate. And you think, wait, what happened to the climate emergency? Okay, let's go back. So, Bill Gates wrote a book in 2021, How to Avoid a Climate Disaster, saying we need to get to zero emissions. We need to invest in renewables, invent new technology. That was the story. But now he's telling us that climate change is not that apocalyptic. We won't perish as a civilization, at least. He says that emissions have dropped, innovation is working, and the real goal should be human welfare rather than temperature numbers. He says we might let the earth warm by zero point 0.1 degrees if it means defeating malaria. That is some serious repositioning. And then enters AI. Suddenly, the sunlit billionaire's next big play isn't wind farms or molten salt reactors, it's data centers, algorithmic brains, and a future where intelligence becomes free. He has publicly argued that AI will help reduce emissions, even though it uses massive amounts of energy and infrastructure. He's saying, don't worry about the electricity load, AI will pay for itself. So, what does this all feel like? Feels like Bill Gates has moved from high minded, save the planet investor to the high stakes, own the future tech mogul. Because let's be honest, AI is hot. It is where the money is, it is where the influence is. Climate change is real. Yes, clean energy tech has matured. Margins are tighter now, risks are higher. AI is the new frontier. It's disruptive, it's profitable, and it gives the old school capitalists the chance to control the next wave of wealth and power. The shift is worth questioning because when a man pivots like that from we must act for the climate to let's shift everything to AI, you ask, whose interests are being served? Is it the planet? Is it the people? Or is it the platform owners, the data lords, the few who will sit on top of the next economy while everyone else scrambles for scraps? Bill Gates saying that climate isn't the existential threat anymore feels like a license to deprioritize the inconvenient truth of warming while funneling attention to his new obsession, which is artificial intelligence. And you know what else? That new obsession changes the narrative of charity and public good into investment and control. Climate fundraising shifted into clean tech venture funds. Bill Gates Foundation still does good work, but the tropes have changed from saving lives through renewables to saving lives through digital intelligence. Watch the language. The urgency is less about must curb historic emissions and more about let's scale AI, let's build data infrastructure, let's embed algorithmic solutions everywhere. And that algorithmic boom requires data centers, chips, cloud servers. And guess who is positioned for that? The same people who built the software empire. I'm not saying that Bill Gates is evil. I'm saying that he's emblematic of how the elite can ride one moral wave until the next one rolls in and then trade the first wave for the second. Climate activism was once fashionable, it was lucrative, it was legitimizing. Now AI is the fashion. The moral story hasn't died, it just changed its props. The planet appears it's still at stake, but the stage features machine learning and algorithmic control more than glaciers and solar panels now. And a worrying part about all of this is when the cause is framed as AI will fix climate, AI will fix health, AI will fix society, you begin to normalize massive automation, massive surveillance, and massive power concentrated in just a few hands. Bill Gates recently said that doctors and teachers will be replaced by AI in a decade. Yeah, he said that. Think about what that means. You don't just want efficiency, you want fewer humans in the equation. And when fewer humans are involved, you need more centralized systems, more control. Let's also reflect on the fact that climate change is still causing human suffering, especially in poor countries. There are droughts, floods, food security threats. These aren't response times for, oh, well, we'll get tech to fix it later. They're happening right now. Bill Gates saying that we should prioritize poverty and disease over emissions sends a signal. Climate mitigation is less urgent to him now. That is a big shift. Universal human welfare is noble, but decoupled from climate mitigation, it becomes an excuse for inaction. Without climate urgency, the moral impetus to shift the fossil fuel economy wanes. All while AI is exciting, it doesn't substitute the systemic changes in energy, infrastructure, and policy. If the richest person in the world switches his slogan to from save the planet to let's build the machine, we should ask, what are we really saving and who are we saving it for? I'm not trying to blame Bill Gates. I'm trying to help you recognize the pattern that public causes become private markets. Moral urgency becomes investment thesis. And when that happens, the people who suffer don't disappear, they just become less visible. The narrative stays high minded, but the power shifts underground. So, yes, to you, Mr. Bill Gates, you built your climate brand, you invested billions, you created some hope. Now you're telling us to pivot towards AI. Maybe that's okay, but don't ask us to forget the climate again. Don't ask us to trust that the next tech will fix and cure everything. And don't assume that just because you own the narrative, you own the righteous end of things. We're paying attention. The world is no longer buying the hero narrative of billionaire saver automatically. If you want control, that is fine. Just don't say that it is for our sake when it's really for yours. Because the planet does not need a new master. It needs responsibility. It needs accountability. It needs humans at the center and not machines. The people have had enough of being footnotes in other people's tech stories.